Welcome back to Outside Views Books. Today we are diving into a title that stirred a lot of conversation, sparked mixed reactions, and delivered an unforgettable journey. And that's Maestra by Alice Hilton. Now, if you're into thrillers that push boundaries, stories that blend intrigue with luxury and a dash of noir, then you might be intrigued by what Maestra has to offer. But don't worry, this discussion will be light on spoilers. Let's start with the core of what makes Maestra so different. At the heart of it all is Judith Rawley, our protagonist, who breaks away from traditional roles. Judith isn't your classic heroine or even an anti-heroine in the traditional sense. She's complex, a bit unsettling, and let's be honest, she's got a pretty twisted sense of morality. Judith works in a London art auction house where she's constantly surrounded by beauty, wealth, and art. But as the story unfolds, you quickly realize she's a character with ambitions far beyond her station, ready to embrace and maybe exploit the darker aspects of human nature. She navigates this high society world with sharp intelligence, but it's her willingness to cross moral lines that keep us on our toes. One of the most fascinating aspects of Maestra is Hilton's choice to set so much of the novel in these glamorous, high-stakes environments. We're taken from exclusive galleries to luxury locations that feel almost surreal in their opulence. It's a visual feast for the mind, drawing you into the world that feels both enticing and off-limits, like peeking behind the curtain of high society. Yes, it's not just the glitz and glamour that pulls you in. Alice Hilton crafts a story that feels as if you are on a fast-moving roller coaster with no seatbelt. There's always this underlying tension, as if danger lurks just beneath the surface of every interaction and setting. Hilton's writing style deserves a mention here too. It's sharp, edgy, and at times deliberately provocative. She uses language in a way that feels visceral, almost cinematic, pulling you deeper into Judith's mindset and motivations. This isn't a book that just asks you to follow along. It makes you confront questions of morality, power, and the lengths people will go to get what they want. And yet, despite all of Judith's complexity, Hilton writes her in a way that keeps you invested even when you are questioning her every decision. One of the things I personally enjoy about Maestra is how it challenges the boundaries of the thriller genre. It doesn't sit comfortably within one box. It's part thriller, part psychological exploration, part adventure. It's a story that's bold enough to explore the extremes of human behavior without pulling any punches. And while Judith's journey is sometimes shocking, it's also refreshingly unapologetic. As you read, you might find yourself shocked, intrigued, or even unsettled by the choices she makes. But that's part of the experience, and Hilton makes sure that nothing in Maestra is predictable. Instead of following a traditional path, the story twists and turns in ways you really won't see coming. Another unique aspect of Maestra is the way Hilton uses art and aesthetics throughout the novel. The art world isn't just Judith's profession, it's almost like a character in its own right. Hilton weaves the art world's darkest side into the plot, using it as a lens to explore Judith's ambitions and the moral decay of the society she's immersed in. And if you've ever been curious about the inner workings of high-end art auctions, the egos and the underhanded deals, Maestra gives you a peek, though in a much darker and more twisted way than you might expect. What makes Maestra so gripping is that Hilton doesn't shy away from showing the raw, sometimes brutal side of ambition. Judith's story is, in many ways, a narrative of survival. She's constantly forced to adapt, to reinvent herself, to make choices that no one else would dare to make. And while you may not always agree with her, there's something captivating about her relentless drive, her refusal to be confined by societal expectations. Now, Maestra may not be everyone's cup of tea. It's a bold, intense read that challenges traditional storytelling with its edgy approach. Some readers might find it too gritty, too provocative. But that's part of what I like about it. It's a book that stays with you, that makes you think long after you've closed the cover. It's a story that feels like it's in motion, always shifting, never allowing you to settle in a comfortable place. In the end, I think Maestra is a book that takes you on a ride unlike any other. It dares to ask uncomfortable questions, dares to explore the dark side of ambition, power, and identity. And at the same time, it offers an experience that's both thrilling and thought-provoking. So, if you're looking for a thriller that goes beyond the usual tropes, that gives you a complex character willing to break all the rules, Maestra might just be worth picking up. Just be prepared. You are in for a journey that's anything but ordinary. So thank you for joining me here on Outside Views Books. If you read Maestra or are thinking about it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below this video. And there's so much to unpack, and I really would love to hear how this story resonates with you, especially because it's controversial. Until next time, keep reading, keep exploring, and keep questioning what lies beneath the surface. See you soon, and the next video is right here in the end screen.